to SWA podcast covering Extreme Rules 2018. Would you call this an extreme pay-per-view, Harry?
No, not really. To be brutally honest, no.
Harry, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm Reese, and we're going to talk about this incredibly non-extreme pay-per-view shortly. But first, we need to discuss Hulk Hogan, don't we?
Oh yeah, Hulk's back, baby.
So yeah, he's been at the time of recording, he has been reinstated to the Hall of Fame, and he has supposedly done a big apology / talk to the locker room backstage at Extreme Rules. Some people say it was recorded, and he has since denied that for a special on the network, which, to be honest, sounds very much like a WWE thing to do, but he has denied it. So anyway, you may not remember why Hulk Hogan was banished from the WWE 3 years ago. Harry, do you want to give a rundown on why he was banished?
Hogan was in the middle of suing Gorka Media for releasing a sex tape.
Mm-hmm.
And a transcript and then leaked audio was released where Hogan was saying some quite derogatory terms about a person that his daughter was dating.
But he used the N-word a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, and he also said he was racist.
Racist to a point. Didn't he start saying stuff about how he wouldn't mind if she was dating a basketball player as opposed to a musician? But yes, he came out with some incredibly awful things, and he was quite rightly, at the time, chucked out of the Hall of Fame. But yeah, no, he's back, and it's still 3 years is a fairly long time, and in wrestling, never say never, as everyone seems to always say. How does this feel to you, Harry?
I don't even know what to make of it. Hogan's been busy in the last 3 years. He did successfully sue Gorka Media and put them out of business, which is a whole different kettle of fish altogether.
Mm.
I don't know what to make of it, man. It's a very different age now because obviously it's very difficult to seek apologies as such in this day and age because people just don't forget any fucking thing.
Mm.
And from reading from people's reactions as such, obviously there's been some very extensive and very well written stuff by Kofi Kingston and Titus O'Neil regarding what was actually discussed at the apology. It sounds as if Hogan is sorry, but he's also sorry that he's been caught, which is kind of going against what the whole point of him, what he was saying in the first place.
That was the impression I got from those statements, actually, yeah, that no one actually seems to think that he actually apologised. He just seemed to say, be careful, you might be getting recorded when you're being racist.
Which is a true thing, but on the other hand, don't be fucking racist.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's all a bit odd, really. And depending on how you feel towards Hulk Hogan and this stuff, it's obviously some people say, yeah, it's about time and forgive and forget, and he's not racist, and a lot of other people just not saying that, saying the opposite, and that they shouldn't bring him back. And I think a lot of people tend to forget wrestling is just very much business. If you can do business, then things can happen. Vince probably thinks he can help with flagging ratings or something if he popped him on, I don't know, just fantasy booking. If he popped him on SmackDown as the GM, might that bring up those bad ratings or something? I don't know.
He could do his. He could try and do his famous promo like, "You be the right gay guy, gay play, right place, right time. What you gonna do,
brother Jack?
Tell you what, Pokemaniacs, watch out for those hidden recorders whenever you happen to drop an M-bomb, dude."
It's not. It's just wrestling. If you're a fan of wrestling, you have to, put up with so much shit, don't you?
I'll be right. I'll be brutally honest. I know we've ragged on him. If he's actually if he is fucking sincere and is deeply horrified by what he's done and apologies, then fuck it. People do deserve chances. On the other hand, there's this Hulk Hogan who has probably spent the last 35 years building a legacy of himself, where it's all say your prayers, eat your vitamins, etc., etc. But then you read all the backstage bollocks, and it turns out he's not exactly a saint. He's done some very nefarious fucking actions throughout the years.
Yeah, but wrestlers, and I'm not going to name names because I'm not going to say that. Well, X wrestler's done this and Y wrestler's done that as some kind of, apologist thing. I'm not doing that at all. I actually find his reinstatement I think it should just be left alone. When you actually listen or read the transcripts of what he said, it's a lot of it is just incredibly indefensible. But anyway, wrestling is it's a carny business.
Yeah.
If there's a buck to be made, generally people will do the stuff to make that buck. And again, I'm not saying I agree with Dave Meltzer on everything he says, because sometimes he has the odd dubious opinion. After that thing with Omega and the pedophile guy, when he was just like, look, if you're going to choose to get really offended by things like this, then maybe wrestling's not for you.
No, I completely agree with that sentiment. It's like people. It's like people are woke. I think that's the right term. I'm fucking old, so I don't actually get half the lingo on the internet. But people are woke to the fact that, oh shit, wrestling's full of like scumbags. I can't believe it. I'm the first person to see the light and realise that wrestling's full of shit. And it's like, it's been like this way for about 120 years.
Yeah, that's done by a load of pedos, racists, and other miscreants.
Pals, I'm in the garbage business.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Yeah, well, you could fill a whole fucking 2-hour podcast episode on
top 10 worst wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, there you go. We got that off our chest, I suppose.
Yep. If Ryan Satin's joke prediction comes true, I will literally fucking scream and laugh my head off until it fucking explodes. It will be the most hilarious thing ever.
I'm of the opinion that he did it as a joke, then actually realised that it's something that could quite possibly happen.
As I retweeted him, it's so ridiculous, it must be true.
Just to put it out there, he said that wouldn't it be funny if the SummerSlam main event ended up being a triple threat? Hulk Hogan as the special guest referee / enforcer, Lashley wins the title, and the end of SummerSlam is Hulk Hogan raising a triumphant Bobby Lashley's arm in triumph as he wins the Universal Championship. Something a lot of people kind of laughed at as it was a joke. Then kind of everyone was like, "Oh, hang on, shit,
oh shit, oh shit."
Right then, that's that out the way. So, Extreme Rules. The most extreme pay-per-view of the year. So extreme, it has the word extreme in the name.
At least it's not with an X.
You mean without the E?
That's it. Sorry. Fuck.
Like people used to rag on WCW for the uncensored pay-per-view because it was all really crappy stipulation matches. But I'm of the opinion that Extreme Rules should just be that. Every match should have a stip. Otherwise, what's the fucking point?
It's like as we've mentioned previously, how Dixie got tricked by Dusty into thinking it'd be a great idea to have lockdown and every match would be a steel cage match. And it's like, that's hilarious. And then WWE does the exact same fucking thing for one of their well, they do it for how many pay-per-views a year are centered around brands? There's TLC, Extreme Rules, Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank.
Technically, yeah. I think that's about it.
Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble.
The last TLC pay-per-view, pretty much, it had one TLC match that wasn't even a proper TLC match.
Exactly. I think it's just we've said this privately, but I think this kind of needs to drop there at this point.
Right. Well, we need to go over this. A pay-per-view that is being roundly slagged off by everyone.
It weren't great, was it? Let's be brutally honest.
Well, I don't think. Oh, I don't know what the main issue is. I think my main issue is the amount of matches and the amount of time that these matches were given. Some of the results. It's the thing. Results wise, I don't think there's many that you could argue. I think it's just some really stupid booking. There's some really pointless matches that don't need to be on pay-per-view, and it looks as though one of the more high-profile matches is just completely meaningless. So, whatever, we'll get to it. And just to be clear, there is some pretty decent wrestling sprinkled throughout here as well.
There is some bad on there, but it's not like oh god, it wasn't like a massive chore to get through, like say Survivor Series last year, or fucking when or whatever show the Punjabi prison was on.
Battleground.
I think so. I think I've kind of blurred it out. It's in the archive somewhere. But this was it was, as you say, it was pacing, and a lot of the matches just didn't feel like pay-per-view caliber matches. There is some good sprinkled throughout, but not enough to justify it being 3 hours and 40 minutes and me watching a fucking pre-show.
Yeah, well, there you go. You've just given yourself an introduction to the pre-show.
I'll give it the old segue. Let's go through pre-show. We're in Kurt Angle's neck of the woods. Arena is noticeably empty to start with. Charlie Caruso says she's 31. It's her birthday, which I don't know how to react to that. So happy birthday. She says Hulk Hogan is backstage, according to her. Will we actually turn up and do something? Which turned out to not be the case. Spoilers. She goes through the entire card and says she gets creeped out by Ellsworth winking at her. At the panel, Finn comes out. He smiles a lot, which is really sad as well, because that seems to be his entire gimmick at this point.
Yes.
They barely acknowledge him as the first ever Universal Champion. Again, this is another sad thing with Finn. It's like they've completely, similar to himself and Owens, they've just completely dropped their previous accolades.
Mm-hmm.
Finn's out basically to hype his match with Corbin. Sam asks whether it's wise to go against Steph's hand-picked guy, to which he cleverly says if he has to go against Steph to get back in the Universal title picture, then so be it.
Wait, Corbin said that?
No, Sam said that. Corbin's not here.
Oh, God, we'll get to him.
We will get to him. Our first of 2 matches on pre-show is Sin Cara versus Andrade Cien Almas, which is a bit weird. The arena's just filling in at the moment. The pair start off with head scissors and fast stereotypical lucha action. It goes to the outside when Cara tries a suicide dive. Almas guides him shoulder first into the barricade, which looks fucking painful. I needed to recheck this, but Corey mentions that this Sin Cara might be a different guy to the one he knew years ago, which was a rib, I presume.
Well, yeah. It's not. I mean, everyone knows it's different people under the mask over the last few years, but they're not supposed to say it, are they?
No, they're not supposed to. They've never acknowledged it, even though it's common knowledge between everyone that this is definitely not Mystico.
Well, yeah, the lack of botches is one thing.
Yeah,
there's still botches there.
Oh yeah, we'll get to them. There's a little tranquilo spot with Vega, which is good. There's a little new feature which is started on this pre-show, which is ads are now split screen as opposed to them cutting to commercial breaks.
Wouldn't want to interrupt that quality content.
Oh no, you do get to see Almas hit a stray elbow to Cara's head in the small screen. Cara lands a spiked reverse Arana for a 2. I'm watching this at 5:20 in the morning, so I don't have to watch it all in one go in the afternoon or in the evening, and it made me jump out of my seat as to how fucking nasty looking it looked. The pair are on top. Cara sends Almas to the outside on the apron, which is painful. He then follows up with a sloppy hurricanrana, but doesn't catch his legs and both go down. Cara then brings him back in the ring, does a frog splash. Vega distracts, Almas blindsides, hits the double knees in the corner, a hammerlock DDT for the 3. I hadn't seen the SmackDown match that these two had, so I can't really compare it, but this was decent, but very sloppy. We have an interview with Shinsuke and Renee, who pretends not to hear her. He's aloof and charismatic as fuck. Booker gets annoyed with the lack of responses. The panel doesn't know what to make of him, thinking he has a bad connection, even though he says Sam is a clown, not Sammy. Later on in the show, we get Zigglypuff and Mac Attack. I'll give you a clue as to who they are.
Mac Attack.
Zigglypuff comes out to hype himself and his match with Seth. Ziggly says Seth can have all the fan support, but like he's had 3 to 4 times, they will turn on him. Drew does get to talk about his win on Monday, but this is largely a Ziggler showcase. I did like Ziggler in this promo, to be fair. I don't know what you make of Ziggler at this point in time.
He's just there, isn't he? Like the pavement. You know, I quite like him as a performer, but I think they should have pulled the trigger on making him a much bigger deal a good few years ago. And I think if you hear him when he does quite candid interviews or shoot interviews, as some people might like to say, he seems to think that as well, that, you know, they've kind of missed a trick on him. You know, there was that time when it was just always Shawn Michaels this and Shawn Michaels that and blah, blah, blah. No, I like him as a performer, but I think he's done, really, in terms of being a top guy.
I think he's a steady hand, as they always say, but I think, as you say, they should have pulled the trigger on him years ago, and they've missed their opportunity. And there he's just kind of here. And I know there's so much, there's so lack of support for him.
Yeah, when I see him with McIntyre, I actually think that's bad for McIntyre. But then maybe if the whole end game for them is that McIntyre will turn on him and destroy him, and go over Ziggler in like an absolute destruction of a small feud where he just destroys Ziggler and then he just looks like a monster that then goes for the title, then maybe that's why they're doing it. That's what it looks like to me, you know, fantasy booking. But yeah, we'll see. I'm interested in that. The fact they gave Ziggler the IC title makes me think that they're probably not going to go with them as a tag team, but again, could be wrong.
Yeah, again, that seemed like looks like more of a red herring, because I thought, they've taken the title off Seth, so maybe they're building Seth up for something bigger, but I don't think that's the case anymore, which is a shame. The other thing of note for this little exchange between everyone is that he calls McIntyre a big psycho several times, which just doesn't really get over. I don't even think it's a good nickname. Your pre-show main event, which because of the news about Hogan is obviously sponsored by Papa John's Pizza, is a there we go. I've been saving it. Is a 6-man tables match between the New Day and Sanity.
Yeah, so there you go. So a stipulation match on the pre-show.
I'll be brutally honest, New Day have delivered on pre-show previously, so I was actually quite looking forward to this match, but I've put it's going to be chaos. And before we even start, he showers a child with pancakes who either looks super excited or terrified, and it's like, what the fuck is happening with wrestling?
Yeah, the pancake shtick has to stop, I think. It's getting a bit annoying. And I think, well, the fact they're on the pre-show, maybe a lot of other people, they don't have anything else for them, I guess.
I suppose until the tag team title soon, but we'll get to that. Let's go for this then. I've put it's going to be fucking chaos, but luckily this match was quite short. Young and Wolf team up in the ring against D. An accidental something I've put there from Young to Wolf allows for E to go on the dive on the pair who are on the apron. The pair stopping with knees, and Young hits an elbow from the top anyway. There's another split screen ad break. It's E versus Young and Wolf. E and Young and Wolf are still wrestling, sorry. Woods and Kofi return, throw the pair outside, hit sentons to the outside, then Dane hits a suicide dive of himself to both. Sanity set up more tables, which means they must be fucked, I've put on here. Wolf sets up an Uranagi to Kofi on the top rope to a table outside. Kofi fights him off. Woods and E return and fight off Dane. Then inside the ring, Kofi hits a double standing stomp to Wolf and Young, who are in a powerbomb position. Jesus fucking Christ. I think this spot was so good they actually showed it on the main show.
Yes, they did.
Dane returns, hits the Michinoku driver to Woods in the ring. I think he's actually got a name for that move, but I can't remember what the fuck it's called, so apologies. Kofi nails Trouble in Paradise, notices Young on the table outside, tries a dive, but Wolf stops him. The pair go on the apron and try something. Young spots an opening and nails a bulldog from the top rope to Kofi through a table to win. Once again, New Day go on the pre-show and potentially steal the show. Match was a complete spot fest, but short and sweet one. Hopefully this means better things for both teams, although I did notice Dane was quite absent for a lot of the match, which was a shame.
Yeah.
Final segment sees Hardy and Wyatt cut an 80s promo saying that they're the first match, and that's the end of pre-show.
Huzzah! So we finish the pre-show and we go into the main card. I'm just going to say this off the bat. The first 2 matches on this card shouldn't have been on this card.
Yeah, I agree. Although, to be fair, there is something that happens in the first match anyway, so maybe they don't want to. They wanted to put it on pay-per-view because they thought it'd be a bigger moment. But the second match, I entirely agree with.
Well, we'll get to that, I guess. All right, yeah, so let's start. First match of the main card, the B team against the Eater of Worlds. Is that right?
The Deleter of Worlds now.
Deleter of Worlds. Sorry. Oh no, Bray Wyatt is the Eater of Worlds, and
Mm-hmm.
Matt Hardy likes to delete things, so they came together, you see, as the Deleter of Worlds. Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel. I suppose this is a modern job squad, isn't it? By calling themselves the B team.
You stole my thing. I said B team shirts have a distinct job squad look. It's also one of the few wrestling shirts in white. Therefore, it's the best.
Yeah, well, there you go. Right, yeah. So Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt defending their Raw Tag Titles singles match. Why? You know, we was discussing it. I don't know how many pay-per-views ago it was, but I think both tag titles didn't make the pay-per-view, and we were kind of like, the tag titles should be on the pay-per-view, and now we've come to a pay-per-view where both tag team titles have been defended on the main card, and I've kind of completely changed my opinion, and now I don't really want them on any pay-per-view unless they start taking them seriously, really.
I think, to be fair, the SmackDown Tag Team title match was fucked because of what happened on SmackDown itself, which explains why that match turned out to be what it was. This match, though, is a bit of a weird one because, one, it's fucking weird to see Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel have a pay-per-view match in 2018, let alone a title match in 2018. I mean, I've put Universe Mode has officially lost its mind, press triangle to edit. I think you raised this as well. This is very similar to Rhino and Heath Slater.
Yeah, I didn't mind that though for some reason. I don't know.
I think it was a good, genuine, feel-good moment. But that was the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions. This is still technically the World Tag Team Champions that have they've just rebranded the titles. They're giving it a new strap, a new belt decor, is it called, whatever.
Yeah, well, okay, so this is probably the worst title on the whole main roster, right? The Raw tag titles.
Would you include Cruiserweight?
No, but they seem to have pretty decent matches.
Why was that not on the show?
Well, I suppose they're not wasting their time with it anymore.
Oh, that's all right. Then 205 Live have realised that pay-per-views don't mean anything, so it's like, we'll just keep doing it on our show.
So the B team won by pinfall. The B team are the new Raw Tag Champions, and they even got a little interview, post-match interview.
What the fuck? What was that a joke, or did he actually fuck up everything he was talking about?
I don't know.
This is the biggest moment since Stretch Armstrong landed on the moon.
Yeah, they're just playing goofs, aren't they?
Yeah, but I didn't know if he was actually really fucking exhausted. I mean, he worked me if that's the case. I mean, fuck off. I was like, what is he talking about? Bo kept it simple and just said B's for best and got the crowd to chant.
Then tried to get the crowd to chant.
He had a few people.
Yeah, well, good for them. I think it's good for them, sure. But let's hope that they actually get a decent feud out of it or whatever. I mean,
it really I was going to say, it really depends on what happens now with Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy as such. I still feel like it's way too soon to break them up. But who the fuck knows? I mean, the fucking booking just is so schizophrenic. They change things every time. Plans change, but it's like there's no rhyme or reason behind it.
Yes, well, let's move on.
Did you like the match? Just quickly.
I don't think it was terrible. I don't think it was great. It was just there,
I feel like they missed the trick because they didn't show a lot of Bo and Bray. They teased it, but they didn't even, even the crowd is obviously aware that they're brothers, but they barely, interacted with each other.
Well, on Raw, when they've been dressing up as them, he's been dressing up as his brother, which has been like a little fun thing. But yeah, you're right. It's almost as if they're intentionally doing that. Yeah.
No, I mean, I've always thought that Bo Dallas, it would have been great if when the Wyatt family was still bad, he would join and he'd be like little Bo Wyatt or whatever it is. The lamb of the Wyatt family, but they missed the trick. I don't book the show, folks. I'm sorry.
Well, if I booked the show, I wouldn't have put fucking Finn Balor against Constable Corbin on it.
You missed the biggest thing on the pay-per-view, Reese,
What's that?
where Kurt appears and he mentions that Brock is refusing to drop the title and has 3 options. What are those 3 options, Reese?
Defend at SummerSlam or you get stripped, right? Isn't that the
that's
crux
2.
of it?
He was either show up tomorrow, which
Oh,
he
right,
didn't,
yeah.
confirm his next title defense, which he didn't, and 3, ignore the top 2 and gets the title stripped, which they didn't.
Well, Heyman did confirm that he would defend at SummerSlam, though, so I suppose he did do one of them. Or 2 of them.
They haven't fully confirmed it yet, though. You know, if I was Jerry McDevitt, I would go, well, he hasn't fucking picked it yet, so we'll take the title off him.
On Raw, Heyman did say, yes, okay, he'll defend at SummerSlam.
Also, I could completely agree with Brian Alvarez, where he says they've paid the guy $5 million a year to get X-Pac heat.
Or to try and get him to get X-Pac heat. Because by getting him that heat, they think that means that Roman will get come on, Roman.
When are they going to learn? Only me and you are going to cheer Roman. Everyone else fucking hates Roman. They should just put someone they like in the main event at SummerSlam. It's so fucking obvious at this point. It's a lost cause to put Roman in there, but anyway. Still love you, big dog.
Right, can we get to
Yeah.
Corbin? Why is he called Constable Corbin? It's just it's so silly.
I don't know, but he what did I put? He looks like the kind of guy who refuses you entry to a club for wearing knackered Converse.
Yeah. Do you think that he's just got this role just so that they can mention Stephanie McMahon's name every 30 seconds when he's on the screen?
Pretty much, yeah. He keeps her the most over person in the company.
It's just total bollock. He gets nothing from it though. This is what I don't get. He nothing.
Got a haircut and a nice suit and waist jacket combo.
But he doesn't get anything for it.
He got a nice haircut and a waistcoat and jacket combo.
Why isn't he booking himself as part of the Universal title thing?
Because he's dumb as fuck. He's dumb as a box of rocks.
It's just stupid.
Maybe he might be smart and be like, oh, I'm not facing Brock. I've seen what he does to people.
Nah, it's just rubbish.
Dumb question. Do you remember these two having a wrestling match in NXT? This was back when Corbin was still undefeated, I think, at the time. And I want to say Balor might have given him his first defeat. But that's a guess from years ago, so don't quote me on that.
I don't know.
It was all right back then, but this is 4 years later or something ridiculous. So it was like, what are these two going to deliver?
Well, what did they deliver? This was another match that for me was just there. This shouldn't be on paper. This should be a high profile match on a Raw. This isn't pay per view. What the fuck are they putting this on there for?
It's one that's thoroughly average. It's typical WWE little man versus big man, which is they've done consecutively for like shows now. Obviously, we had Cass and Daniel last month as well. And I've seen so many of these fucking Corbin matches where he like basically squashes someone and then he loses to like a sneaky roll up. It's actually like lost its appeal now. It's like, oh, Corbin could have won. It's like he never fucking wins. And if he does win, he wins by cheating. It's like you can set your watch to his matches. If he's dominating, he's going to get snuck. Someone's going to get a sneaky roll up, and he'll just fumble around and blame the ref or something, and then we're back to square one again.
Yeah, it's just another 8 minutes wasted. It's just
that's what I mean. It's like I completely concur. This match shouldn't have been on pay per view. It should have just been on fucking Raw, and they could have made an angle out of it. But I suppose it gets Finn on pay per view. But it's like,
what does Finn get now? Where's Finn now?
I don't know. He's definitely at the Universal title scene. So that promo on the pre-show was completely pointless. I don't know, man. I don't have a fucking clue. It's crazy to think that SummerSlam, the first ever Universal Champion, which is like, how many years is it to when he won that? 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
Might not even be on fucking show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's move on because it's just nothing match. I mean, Finn won, fair enough, whatever, but it wasn't even. It was just. Ugh. And why is he wrestling in a fucking suit? Why has he got a fucking waistcoat, shirt, and slacks on?
Get heat from you.
It's like, oh, what if he wears his actual gear? Will people forget that he's an authoritative figure? Oh, so we have to, oh yeah, no, make sure he wears a suit and stuff when he's wrestling so people remember.
Like Vince did. Remember all those matches Vince wrestled in a suit?
Or IRS, maybe.
Well, oh, you fucking threw me. But I was saying Vinnie Mac.
No, I know, but I'm saying a similar case study is IRS. He was a accountant, or he was a member of the IRS, and he had to wear a suit and glasses to put over the fact that he was an accountant, an evil accountant, sure, but you know.
Did work though. Did work.
Yeah, but he wore much more, free clothing. Anyway, let's move on to a stipulation. This is another stipulation match, but not a good stipulation.
You missed the angle, Reese. Did you skip
What
through this
angle?
shit? The angle where we see the Bludgeon Brothers battering Team Hell No,
Oh,
and then they use a mallet on the door on Kane's foot wedged in because we've got to cover up the match.
Yeah. What is Kane genuinely injured, or they just want an angle?
Kane got injured on SmackDown, according to a few of the dirt sheets.
All right, fair enough.
Rather than be, truthful and say, oh, we've heard rumours that Kane got injured on SmackDown and Daniel Bryan's got to do a 2-on-1 handicap match, we've then got to make this angle up. And then proceed to not use Kane again afterwards.
Yes.
We'll get to it anyway. But now we get to talk about your favourite, my favourite match ever, which is we put someone in the shark cage because Mattel have got to sell their fucking action figures. Or whoever makes their action figures.
Asuka going after Carmella's SmackDown Women's Championship again. Why? The first point I've put on here is, why is this fucking feud continuing? It's so crap.
Gotta kill Asuka.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. So this match goes a whopping, I believe, 5 minutes 25 seconds. He's not in the cage for 1 minute until he's had 2 attempts. What is it? He drops something for Carmella, and I think Asuka gets it.
Yeah.
He does something else. He has a fucking key. Who's checking? He's got a key. He didn't even lockpick it. Like, they actually say, oh, James Ellsworth is a lockpick extraordinaire. He goes to a close-up, and he's literally got a key to the lock.
Who booked this? And why did you do this?
So, and then it's like, but I don't... So he gets out the cage, and so he dangles from the cage in what is one of the most careful-looking spots ever. He's dangling, so the ref asks them to lower the cage, which means Asuka then kicks him very hard in the back. He must have a bad back because he's got like padding on his back, and it's because he's upside down. His clothes slip forward, so you can see the padding. I'm assuming Corey probably got told off by. I don't think Vince was there actually. Whoever's at Gorilla probably told off Corey, because Corey actually highlights the fact that he had a flak jacket, as he put it, on. And then when Asuka starts just kicking the shit out of him, you actually realise, oh right, he's just got back protection because he didn't want to take those kicks. The lowered cage then is used as a weapon by Carmella, pushes Asuka into it. 1, 2, 3. Garbage. It's just awful.
Remember Asuka's winning streak? Remember 500 days? I remembers.
Oh my god. Remember when Asuka won the first ever female Royal Rumble? I remember.
Oh god.
Oh, so
This match is like a combination of everything bad in the WWE. They've got the fucking shark cage, which has been shit. It's never been good. Ever been good. I can't remember a single good shark cage match ever, and if it was, the last one was back in 1998 between Owen Hart and Triple H. Carmella, I can't tell if she's now trolling on purpose, because I've been defending her like a fucking schmuck, and it's like it's like she can't fucking wrestle.
They have so much confidence in her having a good match with one of the best women's wrestler on the planet that they've brought back James Ellsworth as a fucking fluffer.
To be fair, I love Ellsworth.
I've got no problem with James Ellsworth living the dream, making some WWE money, being on WWE, and further increasing his indie pay demands, which I'm assuming are pretty good these days, and he's never short of bookings. But Carmella is awful. I don't get it, right? And I don't want to sound like I'm going back to the old diva days, but I can't see, apart from just wanting to have that kind of chicken shit heel champion just to kill a few months. Basically, this is them killing a few months until, I don't know, I suppose Charlotte comes back and goes on a really strong run leading to Mania next year where she may or may not be going up against Rousey. Who knows? It's all just a bit rubbish. I mean, if I'm booking this women's division on SmackDown, I'm fucking strapping the rocket to Becky. And if you look at the way they've booked Becky on SmackDown the last few weeks, and she won again this week, next week, she actually has a match against Carmella. If she wins, she gets the title shot at SummerSlam. God, it would be... I'd fucking love it if at SummerSlam she won that title again and she had a really good run.
Yeah, but Vince, I can't understand her accent. I mean, what the fuck is she saying?
You beaver tooth motherfucker!
Yeah, but Highlands, you beaver tooth motherfucker! Jesus fucking Christ, she's like the best wrestler in the fucking world and all you do is criticize her fucking accent!
Well, anyway... This was garbage.
Oh, fuck. WWE, please stop doing shark cage matches. If I have to buy your entire fucking inventory of Mattel fucking action figures with this fucking thing on it just to stop you doing it, please stop doing it. These matches suck.
Yeah.
But at least Asuka got a heat back by beating a bunch of randos at the end because obviously that'll get her over again.
Nah, she's... Unless something drastically changes in the next few months, she's fucking done. Is there anything? Is there any angles in between this that I've missed? Because it's clear that I was obviously fast forwarding.
No, you can call the next match an angle though.
US title: Jeff Hardy defends against Shinsuke Nakamura. What? Isn't it 6 seconds?
Literally the first note I put, and this was prior to being told by every single fucking person, oh, he's not hurt, is Shinsuke nails a low blow before the bell rings. Is this match going to be short because Brother Nero is hurt? And he nailed a Kinshasa instantly and won the fucking title.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Seriously, guys. What a fucking swerve.
Yeah. Yeah, so 6 seconds. Nakamura's the new US champion. Cool. And then Randy Orton comes back.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, so they're setting up Orton and Shinsuke. And then Orton takes forever and it's like, oh, Orton's turning heel. And then lo and behold, he turns fucking heel by kicking Jeff in the bollocks.
Yeah. Because I was watching this thinking, okay, an Orton-Nakamura feud might be quite decent. And then he just proceeds to beat up the guy who, I think in his last proper match, beat him clean.
Oh, the fucking hell, then you've figured out why the heel turn happened then, I presume, yeah?
Because he lost a clean pinfall.
Well, Orton has turned heel for lesser reasons. We take the piss out of Big Show for fucking, switching characters, multiple times throughout the year, but Orton's just as fucking bad. And Orton's a fucking paradox because people will cheer him when he's heel, and then they turn him face, and he's the most boring fucking thing ever, so people boo him, and then he goes back to being heel, he gets a cheer for like a week, and then they go back and forth. It's so fucking
because
stupid.
he's quite a good heel. I think he's just got that dickish demeanour that actually makes him quite a good, believable heel.
True, but his matches go so slow, and I know why he does it, because obviously heels can't work fucking miles a minute because they'll get pops, but then he goes back to face, and then he moves up a gear, and then he gets fucking shit. Oh, never mind. Bottom line, this is a fucking angle, and then they proved it again because Orton attacks him on SmackDown. I thought this was a bit of a waste of a spot.
The SmackDown segment with these three was actually a lot better than this, but there you go.
Well, we didn't have enough time.
All right, moving on. Is there anything in between this and the next match? Because we're good. So, a cage match. I love cage matches. Cage matches are one of my favourite match types.
Is this? Are you nostalgic over the old WWF blue cage?
Well, I think they should bring the blue cage back personally, but
I think they should remove pinfalls and submissions from cage matches. Where you just have to escape.
I think all cage matches should be escape over the top or through the door, because the door is possibly the most frustrating thing in wrestling matches ever. But anyway, Kevin Owens against Braun Strowman, steel cage match. I'm just gonna do the intro for a steel cage match. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Dum 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 dum. I do like that.
It is one of the best themes ever.
It is. It's just weird. So yeah, Owens comes to the ring, looks genuinely scared, and I think even though he's not getting an awful lot, I mean, in terms of really good booking. I think he's actually one of the best guys they've got.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, this story, because Owens, for all intents and purposes, is a coward, but the amount of shit he's had done to him, it's kind of hard to keep him a heel.
Oh,
as
I've got this on my notes, right? So technically, Owens is the heel in this, and Braun's the face. Yet when they do the recap video, if you had it on mute, you would think that Braun Strowman was the biggest cunt in wrestling, and that poor Kevin Owens was being bullied.
To be fair, it worked for Austin. Doing all the weird, wacky shit. It got him over as fuck, and wrestling can be topsy-turvy.
Well, for that storyline, perhaps.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Braun didn't drag Owens to the ring, get a gun to his head, make him piss himself, and then, put, these hands or something when it pops out as a fucking joke, but...
Yeah, but Austin did that to the tyrannical leader, owner of the company, who's made his life hell for the previous whatever how many months or years beforehand.
That's true, but if you put it on mute on fucking recap pictures, you'd be like, why is this thug trying to beat up this old man all the time? Oh my god, he's put a gun on him. Oh, it's a joke. Oh. What was your bets how Owens was going to win this match, or did you actually think Owens didn't have a chance?
I thought Owens would win because I think the really that thing about predicting wrestling, where if someone's week in week out getting beaten up on TV, then they'll generally probably get the win on pay per view. I think that's still obvious in some things, and to me that was the obvious thing here. But I think the other obvious thing was that he was going to win in that kind of. I thought he'd get thrown, he'd get beat up, he'd get battered, and then he'd get thrown through the cage, like they'd gimmick it.
Or they'd slam him through the fucking ring and he'd crawl out like JBL did all those years ago. It's like, oh, Owens has gone through the floor, so he's touched the outside, so he wins. I thought he was going to get thrown through the cage. Like, that was my initial guess. What actually happens is much worse.
He's well, I suppose we could just cut to the chase. The match was okay for a cage match.
I thought it was good. I thought Owens at least got some fucking, offense. And it also gave us a humdinger of a bit of a commentary where Coach asks how Owens can turn the match around, to which Cole flatly replies, escape.
He handcuffs Braun to the ring at one point and then doesn't proceed to just immediately run away, which it just makes him look stupid.
Oh, that DX chop, though. DX chop, blew him a kiss, hitting all the old favourites.
Oh, just run away. Anyway, so that's the spot, actually, that leads to the finish. So he handcuffs him, beats him up a little bit, and then gets chokeslammed, and then takes that as the cue to start climbing. As you said, mocks him a little bit, and then as he's just about to jump up, Braun rips off the handcuff, chases him. The athleticism of Braun Strowman to climb up the cage the way he did was quite. I thought.
Jesus, I thought. All right, hold on a second. Let the big man take his time to go. He fucking leaped up there like a cat,
and then he proceeded to throw Owens off the top of the cage onto a very clearly gimmicked and safe-ish looking announcer's table with a blow-up bag underneath it. To be fair.
Happy 20 years, Mick.
Yeah. So the bump. What do we think about the bump?
I thought it was as controlled as it could possibly be. I do feel sorry for Owens because he just seems to be doing these fucking incredibly dangerous looking bumps like consecutively now.
He's the new bump guy. He's the new he's like Shane McMahon. When Shane McMahon was like, "Oh, go on, I'll take those bumps," or fucking Jeff Hardy went, "Oh yeah, go on, I'll swanton off that."
Or Foley when he's like, "I think I can come off that. That'd be alright."
The Foley one's the obvious one, I guess, but yeah, it's just like, okay, I'll take the huge bump off of the ladder onto the tables. Fine. Yes, I'll take the 15-foot bump off of the cage. Yeah, I don't think. I think it looked safe enough, but I'm not. I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Again, I thought it was gimmicked and it was as safe as it could possibly be. Obviously, in wrestling, there's always a chance that some serious injury could happen in any sort of match, but this obviously escalates it. But Owens has proven time and again that he can do these bumps and seemingly walk away from it. I mean, he was back on was he back on Raw the following night, or did they give him a break?
Oh, I don't think he was, actually, but I could be wrong.
I've put, this is the second horrible spot for Owens in 2 shows. I mean, obviously that's not including the porta potty and all the other shit that's been going on. Surely he's getting a reward of some sort for this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've put down as well. I'd like to think he might get something decent.
Pal, how'd you like the Intercontinental Intercontinental Championship.
So yeah, Braun Strowman murders Kevin Owens and then laughs at him. Quite a lot of laughter, but there you go. He's the face apparently.
But that's it. Again, going back to the earlier point, Austin did this wacky shit in '98 and he got over as fuck. It's just this repeating history again. People love Strowman. That's the thing. He's the most organically over face in the company at the moment, other than Seth. Surely at some point that it's the title's coming home to him.
Yeah, this was another 8-minute match. There were 12 matches on this card. Without cheating, Harry, how many of them were 8 minutes? Or
You said 12 matches?
no? There was 12 matches total.
Yep.
How many of them were? I'll give you the highest one. So 8 minutes 20 seconds or lower.
9 out of 12. So 9 out of 12 were around the 8-minute mark and 3 were over.
Is 9 out of 12?
I don't have my clock. Well, it was a bit fucking... It got a bit obvious because it's like, oh, we had the angle, which was 6 seconds. The last match was 30 minutes. Nothing really stood out. Yeah.
Just a bit shit for me. But anyway, let's move on. What was next?
SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Bludgeon Brothers and Daniel Bryan and Mayor of wherever. Kane! That's gotta be a Democrat!
He's a
Actually, no,
Republican.
he's a libertarian, isn't he?
Is he? Oh, well,
I think so. Yeah. I don't
He
think he's a
won?
Republican. Yeah. I think. Oh, don't fucking. I think he's always been a libertarian.
Yeah. Anyway, I really did tune out for this match. I'll be honest.
Do you want me to quickly go through?
Yeah, go on.
Basically, Daniel Bryan comes out solo in a handicap match, to which we always ask, how long will we last and will Kane come back? Daniel does quite well, but there's constant tags between the Bludgeon Brothers, so Daniel has no time to recover and quickly gets battered. With everyone gets down at some point, Kane comes out in a cast, Daniel gets the hot tag, Kane nails chokeslams to both Bludgeon Brothers, signals for a tombstone, gets brought down. Daniel tags in, hits the yes kicks on Harper. Rowan sneaks a tag, stops a knee with a spin kick, nails an elevated clothesline for the free. I've thought the match was decent, but it's another angle on pay-per-view though. Might be more impressive if the brothers simply just won clean, but I don't book the show.
Those yes kicks were, before the shenanigans of the clock in the main event, the biggest pop of the night.
Yeah. But Daniel Bryan is still over. I'm hoping though that what SmackDown is currently doing with Miz doing the fucking greatest funeral in wrestling, maybe they're building up towards it. The match that everyone wants except Dave Meltzer.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But no, this match was alright. Again, it was they did what they could. Kane is apparently injured. He did something to his ankle on SmackDown, and rather than, again, they made an angle out of it. So what can you fucking do? There is a backstage bit. Did you see the bit with Roman and the B team?
Yeah, give them their best moment, and then just have Roman laugh at them.
Look at those two champions and me. Not fuck.
Whatever, yeah. Bit of a...
Well, Roman's character, it does work as such. I did think it was funny, though.
Yes. So, yes, as mentioned, Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley.
I actually like this match.
Yeah, I've got no problem with this match. I thought it was pretty good.
I like the start of it. Lashley just completely fucking out wrestles him, and then Roman beats him with a punch. So it's like, oh, there's the story. So Lashley's the better wrestler, but Roman can punch people.
I thought they worked really hard. I think it was quite clear that they were putting a lot into it. They were hitting hard. They were working hard.
Yeah, no, I'm not underselling it. They really did try and put a lot of fucking effort into this match. And to be fair, again, it's another Bobby Lashley scenario where he's not getting the crowd reception that you'd expect him to get, but he fucking works hard to get it.
Got a comment here that I'm starting to think that Michael Cole is a big part of the reason why Reigns gets such a shitty reception.
Go on.
I just think that, not only obviously live crowds are smart these days, especially for the big pay-per-views. They obviously watch the television and they comment on it on message boards, and a lot of smarks out there, And I honestly think that a big part of the Roman Reigns thing that irks people, and again, as we always say, doesn't particularly irk us. We're fans, but what does irk me is the fact that everything he does, even when he comes to the fucking ring when his music hits, there's a it's like a pun. There's a expression. Michael Cole must have a list of things. Every single time he comes through the curtain is, and there's the big dog. Every single thing he does, Michael Cole preempts with a kind of catchphrase. If he does a 20-minute match, every single time he does one of his key moves, it is just, there's an exclamation mark of Michael Cole saying something.
Roman Reigns showing that it's his yard. Big dog with a big spear. Superman punch.
Oh, yeah, drive by.
Oh,
it's so much of it, and I honestly think that if you then watch, I'd love to watch a Roman Reigns match on mute. Or I'll tell you what I was thinking: if WWE actually gave you the option of having on the network, you could have a comment, just an audio track of the crowd. They'd never do it.
Pals. The commentators are there to deliver the story.
I just think he's a real big part of why they just can't get him over.
I think that's Vince though. Vince is down there fucking Mike screaming at him, talking about tout and all that shit. I won't blame Cole, because with Cole has proven that if he doesn't have Vince at his ear, he's actually a very good commentator.
And I think people that listen to wrestling podcasts are probably clued up to know that when you hear things like that, you're not hearing Michael Cole, you're actually hearing Vince McMahon. You know, that's where this comes from.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Not that because Vince wasn't even at the
no,
at
he
this
was
pay-per-view.
No, it's a Triple H thing, which is apparently this is apparently why this match was so low on the card as opposed to it being main event. But I reckon it was probably, as listening to Pritchard, this is probably just an experiment to see how Seth and Ziggler would do in the main event, even though the two have been in fucking numerous main events. But
Possibly.
With regards to this match, I thought it was good. Going from the finish, I mean, the most notable spot in my opinion is the fucking horrible bump that Lashley takes, where he gets fucking like Samoan dropped outside, but he like gets dumped outside and he just fucking bumps right on the outside, and his fucking head like wallop, you know.
Yeah, a man of his age shouldn't really be taking these kind of bumps, but
Lashley's a fucking freak of nature anyway.
Well, yeah. It seemed to be the part of the match that it woke him up, and then he obviously went on to win long after. Yeah, I just want to reiterate, I think this match was pretty good. I think they worked quite well together. Lashley getting a win, I thought, was very surprising, and I feared that it would be pretty meaningless, and Raw the next night proved that so far it's meaningless. So he's won. He won in a match where the match was put together because him and Roman Reigns were arguing on who should face Brock Lesnar, so they made a match. Lashley won the match, which they hyped up as who might go against Brock Lesnar, but obviously someone's realised that there's 5 weeks of TV to fill before SummerSlam, so they need to fill it up with this contender stuff. And so he isn't the number one contender. He's got to prove he is the number one contender again by beating the same guy he just beat clean as a whistle.
But Reese, what we've got to do, right? Next week we have Lashley and Reigns, and then Reigns beats him, and then in week 3 we go, shit, they're one apiece, so we've got to do the match again, best of 3, and then whoever wins it, they got 2 weeks of doing promos with Paul, and then we get to SummerSlam.
Yeah, no, I'm fairly certain that's what's going to happen. But you know,
Pretty much.
prove me wrong, WWE. Prove me wrong.
No, pal, I'm not proving you wrong. $80 a share.
It's over that now, I think.
I know, fuck, $100 next year, man. The way it's fucking going to be on $100 by the next episode, so.
Yes, so in a break from tradition on this pay-per-view, this match went 14 minutes, 50 seconds. So there you go, nearly double the average length of the other matches.
Was good though. Not going to criticise. Both lads worked really well. Crowd fucking hates Roman. Big surprise. The only way to salvage him at this point is to turn him heel. That's the only fucking way they're going to do it. But they won't do it.
No.
Let's continue with Roman getting booed.
3 more matches to talk about.
Actually, to be fair, one of them is good.
Yes.
This is not that.
Is it the next one? No, it's
no,
not.
it's not. No, it's not this fucking one.
Alexa Bliss defending her Raw Women's title against Nia Jax. Extreme Rules match. I believe this is the first ever Women's Extreme Rules match.
They said it was. Anytime you hear the WWE tout something as first, get on fucking Wrestling Wiki and check it, because it's probably not true.
Well, an Extreme Rules match is basically a hardcore match, isn't it?
Pretty much, but we can't use hardcore, because if the 5-year-olds put hardcore in Google, they'll probably come across China, and then we can't put her in the Hall of Fame.
And that's why she's not and never will be in the Hall of Fame. Anyway, right, yeah. This match was entirely forgettable until Ronda Rousey jumped the barricade.
Thank fuck Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey is here to save the WWE.
Yeah, she's a delight, isn't she?
I actually was looking forward to this match in some sort of morbid way, because apparently Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss have had a falling out in real life.
Yeah, I've did read that.
I don't know if it's just bollocks, because again, you can't trust wrestlers, because they're just, they can't separate fact from fiction, and then wonder why people can't separate fact from fiction.
Yeah.
This match was just it was like Shortcut City. That was pretty much it. It had a ton of bollocks, because they had Natalya and Mickie James there. As you say, it was like fuck all happened in this match.
Went 7 minutes 30 seconds. Excuse me.
I thought you just yawned then, didn't you?
I did yawn. It was garbage.
Recapping the show is that fucking boring.
Oh, it's that tiresome. Yeah, Ronda Rousey jumped the barricade and absolutely beat the crap out of Mickie James, which was fun. And then beat up everyone else, pretty much, apart from Natty, who's her friend for now. And so, yeah, Alexa then managed to get the pinfall on Nia. Fuck knows what happens with Nia now. Alexa's still champion. Rousey...
I was going to say, was Nia the third wheel in this match? Because it was like largely Alexa, Mickie, and Ronda. It's like Nia, who's the fucking challenger for the belt, is like largely forgotten. Even though she tries her best, like she does the trash can spot and the fucking kendo sticks, but it's like no one fucking cares about her, because Ronda comes into the match and she's focused entirely on Mickie and Alexa.
It wasn't actually that long ago that, Alexa and Nia blew off a really, a feud at WrestleMania, and she was the champion. And all of a sudden, it's just been reset. And then Alexa gets the belt again.
Again, I guess they just had more confidence in Alexa.
Well, that or no.
I was going to say, as we pointed out at WrestleMania, they needed to put the bullying storyline and give a feel-good moment for WrestleMania.
Or Vince McMahon likes blondes.
Ooh, that's Trish, Tori. Yeah, there's
bodes
probably
well,
more.
Sable. Bodes well
Oh, yeah.
for Tony Storm. But anyway.
Fucking hell, bells. I can imagine that Vince books himself to have an affair with Tony Storm.
Oh, I didn't mean like that. I just mean that they seem to get pushed.
That's true, yeah. So everyone in the WWE should just dye their hair blonde.
Well, yeah. Next.
Fucking hell, this pay-per-view's destroying us. WWE Championship match. Why is this match not fucking main eventing, Reese? What the fuck is happening?
I don't know. If you put this on after the next match, then the crowd are dead.
I thought, oh shit, this is on second to last. Rusev must be winning. Oh shit, he's winning, Reese. Because they wouldn't have the IC title for Ziggler retaining, yeah, he must be winning.
A lot of people thought that, actually, yeah. Me included. But alas...
I thought this was good.
It was good. The best two matches on this card are the Reigns-Lashley match and the Styles-Rusev match.
Yep, I completely concur.
This was really good. Rusev is in the shape of his life. He looked like he was taking this opportunity in this kind of high-profile match with one of the best wrestlers in the world very seriously, and he's come off really well from it. I thought it was a good match.
Told a good story. Rusev gets injured with the leg. Gives him a little bit of extra, because it's like, if Rusev didn't get that fucking hamstring injury at the start, he could have actually had AJ at some point. There's always that question of it, which I thought was really good.
Yes.
They'll completely ignore that, though.
I have a question.
Okay.
How do you like the Aiden English and Rusev thing?
I fucking love it. Yep. I'm actually gutted if they break up. I don't want them to break up.
I don't dislike it. I just don't think I get it.
I get it. Aiden English is his MC. He's attached himself to one of the most, over commodities in the WWE. And he's like his hype man. And he's now his manager. I think he's great at what he does. And I think he adds a lot to the character.
I know what he is. It's just an odd pairing.
I think it works though.
Yeah.
It gives the English something to do because, no offense, if they break up, English just goes into fucking purgatory on main event or wherever.
Well, where he was before they were together.
Exactly, yeah. I think this is the best thing that he's done for his career thus far. Rusev is charismatic as fuck. He's managed to get like the most random fucking thing over, which is Rusev Day. I mean, he sold a fucking calendar where literally everything on there is Rusev Day.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
I know. They'd be absolutely insane to fucking not push him to the fucking moon at this point. I think they've left it a bit late at this point now to even give him a main event title, like, well, I'll say main event, at least a WWE Championship opportunity. Because, I mean, this is his first chance, apparently, which is fucking ridiculous.
Yes, because all of the Cena matches were for the US title, weren't they?
Exactly. I mean, they'll always say, "Oh, pal, you're in the main event of WrestleMania against John Cena. You got a tank." But it's like, how long he's been in the company for fucking... Well, he's been on the main roster for fucking how long? Why has he never been given a WWE Championship match? And he actually, as you say, he delivered. He came in fucking trim as fuck. He put over a really good story. AJ's AJ. AJ's like probably the best fucking wrestler in the WWE, minus Seth at this point.
You know how good AJ Styles is?
Oh, go on.
AJ Styles is so good that the crowd cheer him even though he's a mega face.
But obviously we can't have their main event the show because that wouldn't make sense. But this match was good. They did a lot of shit.
Just to be clear, the only way this match ends the show is if the Iron Man match opens the show. And the fact that it didn't is, I think that should have set alarm bells off ringing, because any match going... If you would have done the Iron Man match opening the card and then you had those really shit matches at the start of the card, just come in and get the fan, just give the fans half an hour to get their breath, after a half an hour match.
Get a drink, feel better. Yeah.
Then you go into these matches, then that might have been better pacing. But then again, I've never actually booked a real wrestling card, so maybe I don't know fuck all about it.
Oh, well,
anyway.
You don't have an opinion on wrestling because you're not involved in the business, Reese.
Well, yeah.
Just like when wrestlers complain about, the airport losing their bags, how can they criticise it because they've never worked in the fucking air industry?
Well, there you go.
Savage.
Yes, no, this was a good match. This one went 15 minutes, 35 seconds.
It was fine, though. It did what it needed to fucking do. Again, it's kind of preluding to the possibility of Aiden English and Rusev breaking up, which I really fucking hope doesn't happen. Again, going back to earlier points, Rusev did absolutely everything in his fucking power to look good in this match, and he really fucking did. AJ is fucking AJ at this point, which is not to put him down as such, but you expect him to have a good match, and lo and behold, he fucking delivers. This match should have been the main event, bottom line, and AJ proves that he's the best in the world and justifies this fucking massive title reign that he's accumulating.
Yeah. No, agreed. And then, right, well, we let's move on to your main event of Christ. Right, so Dolph Ziggler defends his IC title headlining a big WWE pay-per-view. It's not a bad thing to see. But then you watch the match.
Why does two things? Why does Ziggler have evil on his trunks?
I don't know. Because he's a heel, isn't he?
I know, but why evil? Because evil is evil. And he's not in WWE, so why does he have evil on his trunk?
Maybe they're mates.
And I can summarise this match in 3 words and a sound effect. How can you summarise this match?
Go on, do it.
It's 3, 2, 1.
I'll just summarise in that I don't particularly like Iron Man matches.
Oh, controversial opinion, Reese. Oh, controversial. What's your favourite Iron Man match? The boring one at WrestleMania 12?
No, but then that's the thing. I'll say that I actually really like that match, but
there's been one good Iron Man match off the top of my head.
Backlash.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. What's Backlash?
Oh, wait. Which one's the one where Taker comes back?
Judgment Day.
I stand corrected.
There's WrestleMania 12, which is shit. There's Judgment Day 2000, which you like WrestleMania 12. You like WrestleMania 12, Michaels, and you said it in the Montreal, which I've uploaded recently. Check it out, folks, in the archive. You said you thought that match was very boring. Defend yourself.
If I watch it now, obviously you skip through it.
Fuck. All right.
I first watched it in, 96?
I like the Iron Man match.
I was 9.
But not when I have to watch all 60 minutes of it. Then it's shit. Then it's really shit. If I can watch it on fucking what 3.5 times the speed, then it's the greatest match ever.
The highlights are good. All right. Anyway,
For fuck's sake. This match, fuck's sake. There's like 30 minutes, 10 minutes of which has a lot of action, and like every Iron Man match before it, only the last 5 minutes really count. They need to stop doing these fucking matches. Because ultimately the highlight of this match is not Dolph and fucking Seth trying to put on a clinic. It's the crowd going, and then trying to work out what Kevin Dunn's going to do with regards to the clock. Oh shit, we gotta turn the fucking clock off. They keep chanting,
apparently the reason they put the clock back on is because Ziggler and Rollins actually complained to the ref.
Yes.
Because they need to know when to do the exact spots.
Yeah, there'll be a bit on Botchamania, 100% guarantee where Seth or Dolph goes. This is even worse than when the clock was on. And they asked the ref to go to the back and put the clock back on. Fuck's sake. I can't... I know wrestling fans pay to get in and, you know, they can chant whatever they want, Maggle. You know, they pay whatever the fuck they do. But, Jesus Christ.
You know what my main gripe with this match is, and similar matches to it? It's
Not...
that... Well, that's a crowd thing. My main gripe with this match, actually, this match and matches similar to it, is that in 30 minutes 10 seconds, there were a total of 9 falls, and a lot of the falls, you watch it and you're just like, actually, I don't want to sound like fucking, you know, some proper wrestling nerd here. Iron Man matches are pretty fucking kayfabe breaking, aren't they?
Oh, what you mean? Oh, Ziggler hits a punch. 1, 2, 3, he gets the fall. Any other circumstance? What the fuck?
Yeah, like, oh, Seth rolls him up. Oh, 3. Oh, what? That's 3-0. It's like,
Seth hits a slingshot. 3. There we go. That's 4-all. Then, any other match if he hit that slingshot? 1, 2. Oh, he kicked out 2.
Yeah. Did Ziggler get a pinfall with a Faymaster? I don't think he did. I think he got a close call. But I was watching it and I was like, how the fuck is that not a call? Oh, yeah, no, it was shit.
God, this match. I reckon in their heads they're like, Guy, this is going to be like the greatest fucking Iron Man match ever. And it's like, it got ruined because the crowd were they just went heel. And again, it's like there's a 10-minute section where there's like 6 falls or something, and then again it's like then you get 10 minutes of nothing. You get 10 minutes of rest spots because the guys have to take a fucking break because they've literally worked like 40 minutes into 10 minutes, and then obviously they go to like, you know, a draw, and it's like every Iron Man match we've seen where it ends in a draw, it infamously ends in sudden death, and the crowd knows it's going to end like in sudden death.
They never, ever, 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 ever say when they book an Iron Man match that there must be a winner. And yet, for some reason, they always think that there must be a winner. Bollocks.
I know.
So, about every fucking time those fucking Flair fucking Steamboat hour-long draw matches used to do, technically, someone should have come out and gone, oh, no, there's got to be a winner. No. Why can't... It's like fucking Americans with ties. They just don't like it.
When you said ties, I thought, why don't Americans like ties? What's wrong with ties? They like
we
ties.
call them.
I didn't realise you meant draws. Yes, sorry. I don't know, man. It was Iron Man matches just need to stop. I think maybe now with the crowd going every fucking 30 seconds, maybe that might cause it. But this was like a culmination of, as you rightly point out, certain spots make no sense whatsoever because in the context of wrestling, these maneuvers would not cause a 3 count ever. In this 30-minute window, they suddenly are like the most devastating maneuvers ever. And some of them just don't make any sense whatsoever. Like fucking Seth, you know, hits a superplex and a Falcon Arrow like as a fucking immediate move. Oh, that's a 2. Fuck you, Seth. Yeah. You know, you do your, you know, Ziggler hits his fucking zigzag at some point. It's like, oh, that's a 3.
Yeah. It was just. And another thing, right? So Seth goes 3-0 up real quick, right? Yeah. And then it's 3-1 when McIntyre gets the DQ. What the hell is this whole... What is this? This whole McIntyre thing, right, should have been about 4 fucking DQs.
Oh, no.
Because it was like, he got DQ'd for hitting him once, right?
Yeah,
and then after the DQ, he then proceeds to beat him up more, throws him against the barricade. That should have been another DQ. He then throws him into the ring post. That should have been another DQ, and then he hits a Claymore kick. There should have been fucking 4. There should have been 4 DQs in this whole thing.
I agree. But then, bottom line, this match had fucking pacing issues up the wazoo, and it should not finish the fucking show. And it's quite a sad state where Seth and Ziggler, who have both accomplished really good matches previously, especially Seth up until recently, this was just like a grand accumulation of why Iron Man matches don't work, and they should be retired for years. They need to be retired so the crowd forgets to go every 25 seconds.
Yes. Right.
Recapping this pay-per-view has been fucking exhausting, like watching it.
Just to finish this match up, so it was 3-3. This is when the crowd got really bored and started doing the whole 10-count Royal Rumble thing.
Yeah.
They took the clock off to boos. Biggest pop of the night was when they put the clock back on. The match ended 4-4. Angle come out. We want a winner. No, we don't. But, here you go. The sudden death period lasted 10 fucking seconds. Because McIntyre got involved again. 5-4 to Ziggler.
The bell rang. Ziggler weren't even in the fucking ring. They rang the bell immediately.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. We have to mention that, actually. So, it's 4-4. There's 56 seconds left. And Ziggler says, fuck this, I'm out here. And Seth goes and grabs him to bring him back. When he should have... He had 50... You're telling me the ref couldn't count to 10 in 54 seconds? What a fucking idiot. Who books this shit?
Vince books this shit.
Who agent? Someone's had to do the agenting for that. I mean, fuck me. Did they get the timings wrong? 54 seconds. Jesus. Let him get counted out.
I know. Well, maybe Seth will go do bigger things.
Maybe.
He obviously isn't, but maybe he will. Oh, God. This fucking pay-per-view. Just earlier point. Going through it is exhausting. There's nothing really bad on it, apart from the Asuka Carmella match. But it's just like, there's nothing, like, the 2 good things aren't good enough to hold the entire show up. I still think this is much better. This is better than Backlash, but it's like, Jesus Christ, it's like, why do we keep watching this fucking stuff? Because the pacing's all over the fucking show.
Yeah.
We've gone from like Money in the Bank, where I was like, I feel optimistic about WWE's booking. You know, they've got Braun as Money in the Bank. They've got, everything looks kind of in place. I mean, this pay-per-view basically revealed Brock is definitely going to lose the belt at SummerSlam. Touch wood.
Yeah, well, everyone thought that about WrestleMania, didn't they? So,
I know. And, he could always renegotiate.
We shall see. Anyway, that was a shit match to end what was mostly a shit show.
Watch the WWE title match and watch Lashley and Reigns and skip the rest.
Yep. That's it. And that's Extreme Rules. Done and dusted. See, the thing is, this only went 3 hours, 40 minutes. There have been longer pay-per-views than this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the main criticism of this is that it just, the pacing's so bad, it actually felt like it was 5-6 hours long.
Well, how many fucking pay-per-view recaps did we have as well? It's like they think their audience. Well, it's not the case of they think. They know their audience are completely fucking moronic and need to be told what happened 35 minutes ago. Well, if in case you missed Extreme Rules, which is the show you're watching, Ronda Rousey jumped the barricade and attacked Alexa Bliss. And then it's like 25 minutes later. In case you missed Extreme Rules, the pay-per-view you're actually watching, Daniel Bryan lost with Kane against the Bludgeon Brothers. And then it's like, oh, God, fucking this show could have been 2 hours and 50 fucking minutes and it would have felt a bit tighter, but they have to have like 6 pay-per-view recaps and all kinds of other bollocks in between. You know your pay-per-view's fucked when like the biggest highlight is fucking Kurt Angle doing a backstage promo saying, oh, by the way, Brock's probably going to lose the title at some point. Lol.
Well, quite.
Yeah, so fuck it. Bottom line, don't watch Extreme Rules. SummerSlam is fucked.
Yes. And on that bombshell, let's wrap this up. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening.
Yes, we really do appreciate you sticking with us, guys. All 5 of you.
Yes, all 5 of you listening at least 3 times a piece. It really does warm the cockles. Thanks for listening. What's the next? Well, we'll be back for maybe SummerSlam or maybe one of those episodic things we do.
Maybe
see.
we'll do that Goldberg retrospective we've been threatening you with for the
We'll
last 3 months.
Start the Goldberg one.
Fuck, I've got to watch them. Anyway, go bottom line. We'll probably see it at SummerSlam, folks.
Yes. So thanks for listening. You can get us on SoundCloud as always. So soundcloud.com/smarksofouratitude. iTunes. We're on YouTube now. Harry's been very well. Thanks to Harry, we're slowly but surely getting there on YouTube, which is good. Nice to have a big archive.
I was going to say you can catch our previous cringy episodes, like all of our episodes, including our terrible predictions for WrestleMania and our Montreal episode, which I love, which I think I'm the only person who actually loves it.
Oh, it's good episode. Shit audio quality. So yes, SWA_podcast on Twitter and smarksofouratitude at googlemail.com.
Yeah, I'll check the emails. We've only had one.
And so thank you for your email, Katia. I want to love you 69. Right back at you, baby. Yes, no, thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon. Toodaloo.